Hello, everyone. So, long story short, when I was 12, about 8 years ago, I bought this pair of Lady Gaga Heartbeats. And being the collector that I am, I recently bought another pair of the black ones. And I noticed a slight difference between the two and realized that the ones that I've had all my life were fake. And suddenly, a lot of things made sense, such as these breaking after about a year and only 1 year about working, and them also being super sticky, which you will see a bit later. But I figured for all the collectors still out there that are still hunting these down, I'd make a short, we'll see how short it'll be, but a short video on how to spot the differences between the real ones and the fake ones. Please disregard this thing. It's a little, these aren't completely new, but I am very sure they're real because, in comparison to these fake ones, the quality is insane. So let's get started. The most obvious difference is Gaga's face. You can clearly see all of Gaga's face on here, whereas here you can barely see her mouth. If you look real close, you can see her eye, but like the camera doesn't even pick it up. Here you can see her eyes, you can even see her hair. Her face also, I think it's a bit smaller and it kind of moved down and to the side on this one. Like here you can see her nose. Here her nose, I guess, is kind of behind the L. Also her tattoo is like you can't see her full tattoo the way you can see it here. Another pretty obvious difference is the font on the packaging. First of all, you can kind of tell that there's like space missing here. It's very close to the edge, whereas here there's like a whole uh space, I guess. And then you can tell the font on these ones is very white and a little bit like bolder than it is on this one. It's more grayish. I don't know if you can better see it in this comparison, but like this is gray, whereas this is white, and this is also a lot thinner than this. You can also see the color difference between the monster. This is again lighter than this. This is a bit darker. And you can also see, like, spot a tiny difference between the space between with and avec, whereas this is like has more space in between them than this. This like difference with the fonts you can pretty much see on any part of the packaging. Like, sorry, these are the fake ones. The top ones, again, much more wider. Grammar queen, sorry. And like here the German is in all capitals, whereas here it's in lowercase as the only word. So that's a difference. And you can also again tell like there's just space missing here. This is in the center as it should be, and this just isn't. And here there's just a difference between the color. Again, you can also more clearly like read the TM. Here you can still read it, but it's harder. There's also like a difference between, this is the fake one, and I don't know if you can see, but I guess it's kind of hard to tell. I guess maybe it's easier at the bottom. Like this is the fake one. It's kind of crooked, where this is just like straight as it should be, but this is like crooked. And you can also just tell that the overall quality of this is just not as good as this. This is also pretty smooth, and whereas this is a little rougher, like a tiny bit. A smaller detail is that the font here has a drop shadow. I don't know if you can tell. Maybe like where the font is over the headphone, you can tell it more. And this one doesn't. It's just like regular. There's no drop shadow. But like here and this font too, it all has a drop shadow. Then on the back, it's also pretty easy to see. Again, the font so much brighter and a little bit bolder than it is here. There's also a clear difference between these two pictures. This one is a lot darker. Like, you can just tell by her hair how much darker this is. And even like the little frame is pretty thin, and this is like a very clear frame. And again, space missing down here. And again, just the difference in the font. You can also, if you look really closely, see a small difference in the numbers here. And the font here is smaller. Like these numbers are kind of elongated. Is that the word? So there's a small difference there too. Now, let's open them. Also, disregard this. These should have this, but it came off. I still have it lying around somewhere. But so when you open these, this is also a small difference. Like, do you see this? This looks a little cheaper actually than this one. I don't know if you saw it, but it does. Now, if you want to open these, it's so easy. You can do it with one hand very easily. If you want to open these, like, it takes more strength, a tiny bit more strength. They're not in there right now, but another quick difference, because this looks very similar. Like overall, this packaging looks very similar, but this is super easy to take out, like so easy. Whereas this, like, it's a little more stuck in there. And now if we take them out, the things that come along with it are also different. Now, as you can see here, the fake instructions are just this tiny little leaflet, whereas the real instructions are a whole book. This thing doesn't come with the fake ones at all. These safety tips do come with it, but they're like glossy, if you can see that, whereas these are matte. And then there's also a difference between the little bag that the I don't know what these are called, come in. This is just like big and has this red stripe, whereas in this one they come in two small ones with no red stripe, and they're a little sturdier too. Like, this is very, very soft material. Okay, now let's get to the actual headphones. Excuse the grossness, but as I've been saying, these have become super sticky over time. Super sticky. These are the real ones. They're not sticky at all, even though they're just like they're the same age, because they were only produced for 1 year. There is one thing I want to show. This little clip thingy. It says Monster on here, whereas the white one doesn't say anything. It just looks like this. The main difference is just the quality. These are a little, the color already came off because I used them so much. But can you see how this like rubber crown thingy, this ring, it just easily comes off? And here it's just like, it doesn't come off at all. It just sticks. Also, what I'm just noticing, this is plastic, like just sturdy plastic, whereas this is actually rubber. Another difference, clear difference, is the Beats symbol right here. sorry, it's not focusing, is the beat symbol. As you can see here, sorry, it literally keeps coming off. You can barely tell, like you can barely read the B. The red came off a little bit, same on this side. But with these, like the B is pretty clear. It's good quality. Like, yeah, you can just tell. Another big difference is this did used to say Lady Gaga. You can't tell anymore, but it did. And here, if you turn it around, did I turn it around? You can still see that it also said like heartbeats on there. But on the real ones, the Lady Gaga is actually like engraved, so it can't come off. And then on the other side, you can still read the heartbeats. There's also a slight difference. Like this is a little bit longer than on the original ones. It's a bit shorter and I think even a bit thicker. But yeah, I think those are the main differences between. This is also just so sticky. Between the actual earbuds. Sorry. And then the last thing that we can compare, is the two cases that come along with it, or like bags. So this is the fake one. This is the real one. You can clearly tell that the fake one is a lot bigger. They both say Lady Gaga on them. And another clear difference is the, I don't know if you can read it, Beats by Dr. Dre and the Monster look very different on the real one. Especially the Beats by Dr. Dre is like very thin on this one and thicker and smaller on this one. Another clear difference is the B. Oh, it's actually when you turn it around here. You see how it's like upside down? And this is the real one is also more defined. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but like the little diamonds are more defined. This is glued on a lot sloppier than this. This looks really nice. This is very sloppy. So, yeah. This was also, I didn't check the difference, but like this was always really hard to open. I don't know if that's the same with this. Probably. Probably just weak. Yeah, this is even harder to open. Okay, so now you know. Those are the main differences between the fake and the real one. So don't get scammed and have fun hunting for heartbeats.